I had several goals in writing this book. First, I wanted to provide a highly readable and brief account of the evolution of the Promise movement, how it came about, and also how it fits into the larger landscape of financial aid, economic development, and collective impact strategies. I also wanted to document how the Promise idea spread from community to community and how it evolved in different communities to meet their local needs. Second, I wanted to take a more rigorous look at the research that we have to date about the impact of these programs, and also see whether it's possible to relate impact to the structure of the program. Promise programs have been developed without a very strong empirical basis, and often programs are developed in a little bit of a vacuum without a real understanding about how program design is going to lead to different outcomes. So I have been looking closely at how program structure is going to fit the critical needs of a community. What I find is that the universal programs that allow every student to have that promise of a college scholarship tend to have more of a transformative impact than the more targeted programs. Targeted programs are often designed to meet a specific need around holding school districts accountable, holding students and families accountable. And they may be well suited to meet that critical need, but those broader systems change challenges of creating a college-going culture in the K through 12 system and creating strong and broad community support or buy-in for a Promise program, I have found that universal programs do a better job of accomplishing that goal. The most important message of my book is similar to the message of my earlier book, even though that book was written a number of years ago, that funding for scholarships is only one part of a successful Promise program. The other critical element is community alignment, community buy-in, broad participation across all the sectors of a community in support of the goals of a Promise program. If Promise programs are to be transformative, participation in achieving their goals has to go beyond the schools to the broader community, to the business community, to the realtor community, to that community of nonprofits that serve particularly at-risk youth, to the faith-based community, to government officials who need to work together across sectors to leverage their Promise program for broader community change. In the book, at the end of the book, I provide some guidelines for communities that are seeking to maximize this transformative potential of Promise programs. Among those are recognizing the long-term nature of change and avoiding the peril of overpromising, not promising rapid or immediate change in the community so people then lose faith in this long-term endeavor. To make sure that a program is designed in response to the critical needs of that community and that there is clarity around that critical need. Another thing that we've found to be important is to keep the structure of a Promise program as simple as possible. So it's easy to message around it, it's easy to explain it, it's easy for people to understand what it is they're being asked to buy into. And finally, to early on make sure that communities intentionally invest in both research and evaluation so they know the impact of their program as that impact is felt, and also invest in intentional community alignment. Community alignment cannot be left to chance, and it does not happen accidentally. So there need to be conscious strategies to build those collaborative mechanisms that span the community, and only with those two pieces, funding for a scholarship program and deep, broad, sustained community engagement, will Promise programs be able to reach their potential.